Welcome to Sarasas Samutsarn School. This is Science Matayam 3 and my name is Teacher Carla G. Circulado. Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing great today. Now let's start our lesson by reading first our vocabulary words. Listen carefully as I read each word twice. Then please repeat after me. Are you ready? Let's begin. Animals. Animals. Good job. Pond. Pond. Good job. Environment. Environment. Good job. Organism. Organism. Good job. Physical. Physical. Good job. Now let's do our dictation. 3 words. Please get 1 piece of paper or in your notebook. Then write your name, grade, student number. Now let's begin. Number 1. Spell the word pond. Number 1. Pond. Number 2. Spell the word organism. Number 2. Organism. And number 3. Spell the word environment. Number 3. Environment. Very good. Now let's check your answers. Get your red pen. For checking if your answer is correct, then put 1, but if your answer is incorrect, copy the correct answer beside your answer. Okay, so for our number 1, let's read and spell together pond. P-O-N-D. Pond. Very good. So a pond is a small, still water or small body of still water that is naturally formed or hollowing or made by man. Okay, now let's go on to our answer number 2. Organism. Let's read and spell together. Organism. O-R-G-A-N-I-S-M. Organism. An organism is an individual animal, plants, insects, or a so-called life form that is living, okay? It is a living things. Okay, the next, number 3, environment. Let's read and spell together. E-N-V-I-R-O-N-M-E-N-T. Environment. Very good. So an environment is our surrounding or condition in which humans, animals, or plants lives. Okay? Very good, everybody. So before we move on to our topic for today, I have a leading question for you. Number 1, what is environment? And number 2, what is an ecosystem? We will answer these questions on our topic for today. The environment. Everybody, get your books. Open it on page 17, Unit 2, Ecology, entitled The Environment. Okay, so if you are there, then let's begin. In the first paragraph in your book, it says, "The environment is the natural world in which people, animals, and plants live." Okay, repeat after me. Environment. Very good. Repeat after me again. People, animals, and plants live. Very good. So the environment is a natural world. Okay, it exists without human actions. Okay, it is naturally formed. Our surroundings. Okay, so it says the natural world in which people build their houses in the environment. Animals also live in the environment, as well as the plants. Okay, that's what we call the environment. Okay, again, what is environment? Very good. It is a natural world in which people, animals, and plants live. Good job. Now, let's move on to the ecosystem. Okay, so in your book, you can also follow. It says, an ecosystem is a localized group of interdependent organisms together with the environment they inhabit and depend on. Please get your markers or highlighters and you can highlight or underline this in your book. Okay, so let's try to explain this in a simple way. So it says that an ecosystem is a localized group, okay, a community of organisms such as animals or plants or other life form, okay, that are dependent on each other. So that community of animals, let's say, they live, okay, the word inhabit is where they live. They live in a particular environment or condition that they depend on. Okay, so it is a group or community of organisms that are dependent on each other that lives in a particular condition or environment that they also depend on. Okay, now let's try to read this one again. Repeat after me, everybody. Say ecosystem. Very good. This one, interdependent. Again, interdependent. Very good. Okay, so again, what is an ecosystem? Very good. It is a group or community of organisms that depend on each other, that lives in a condition where they also depend on. Very good, everyone. So let's try to answer the leading question. The first question, what is environment? Good job. It is a natural world in which people, animals, and plants live. Now the second question, what is an ecosystem? Very good. So, an ecosystem is a group of animals or other organisms that live in a particular place that depends on each other. Very good, everyone. Now, before moving on to the next slide, we have another question to answer. Number 1 question, give an example of an ecosystem and briefly explain. The first example of an ecosystem is the pond. Everybody repeat after me. Say pond. Very good. So this is an example of a pond. Okay. The pond is a small body of still water. Okay. That is naturally formed or can be formed by humans as well. Okay. So we can see that the pond has fishes. It has frogs also and other insects. Okay, so a pond is an example of an ecosystem because it has a group of or community of organisms. Okay, so let's say there is a mosquito in the pond who lives in the pond. Okay, so this mosquito is laying its eggs. Okay, so for example, this mosquito that is laying on the water is in this pond. Okay, so it's laying its eggs. Then, after laying its egg, the frog who also lives in the same pond will see the eggs. And he will eat the eggs or the larvae. Okay? So, when the frog eats the eggs, then this fish who also lives in the same pond together with the mosquito and frog, the fish will then eat the frog. Okay? Okay, the fish will eat the frog. So we can see that they are all connected or interdependent with each other. Okay? So it says that an ecosystem is a community of organisms. In this example, the mosquito, the frog, and the fish that lives in a particular environment, which is the pond, and that they depend on. Okay? So that is our first example of an ecosystem, which is the pond. Very good. Now we have another example of an ecosystem, which is the tree. Okay, now let's try to explain the ecosystem in a tree. Okay, so this tree, let's say that there's a lot of organisms living in this tree. The first organism is the ants. Okay, so I'm sure that you've seen many ants in the trees. Okay, other trees also. So these ants they are eating the sap of the tree. Have you seen the liquid in the tree? Sometimes we can touch it. It's very sticky. Okay, so that is the tree sap that is coming from the tree. So the ants used to eat this tree sap. Okay, so that's why they are staying in the tree. So the ants that are staying in the tree, as you can see in the short clip right here, this lizard who also stays in the tree, in the same tree, eats the ants. Okay? Then this lizard who also stays in the tree, there's also a bird who also stays and maybe nests in the tree. Then this bird saw the lizard. Then this bird will also eat the lizard. So we can see the ecosystem in this tree because they are or a community of organisms. For this example, the ants, the lizard, and the bird. Okay, they are living or inhabiting the same or particular environment, which is the tree, and they are dependent on each other for food and also where they inhabit. Okay, so another example is the tree. Very good, everybody. Now let's try to answer the question. Number 1 question, give an example of an ecosystem. Very good. Pond and tree. Good job, everyone. Before moving on to our next slide, the question is, what are the two features of an ecosystem? Let's find out. So now we are going to talk about the two main features of an ecosystem. The first feature is the physical environment. Everybody repeat after me. Physical environment. Very good. So the physical environment are non-living things. These are the non-living things that do not need food or a place to live in because they are non-living things. So what are those? Those are rocks, air, sunlight, and chemicals. Again, the physical environment are rocks, air, sunlight, and chemicals. Okay, again, what are the physical environment? Very good. Such as rocks, air, sunlight, and chemicals. Good job. Now the second one, the living environment. Everybody repeat after me. Living environment. Very good. So the living environment are all the organisms. Okay, so we know that the organisms are individual, like animals, insects, plants, or any so-called life form. Okay, so it says here plants, animals, and insects are called living environment. Again, what is living environment? Very good. Living environment is all the organisms such as plants, animals, and insects. Good job. Now let's answer the question. What are the two features of an ecosystem? Good job. Physical environment and living environment. Good job, everybody. Now, for our exercise for this topic, you can get one piece of paper or in your notebook. Please don't forget to write your name, grade, and student number. We are doing mind mapping. So the instruction for this exercise is you need to expand your ideas and write down keywords that will show connections or relationships to the central topic that is given. Okay, so you can expand your imaginations or your ideas thinking, and you can write down keywords that will show relationship or connection with the central topic. So the central topic for our exercise is the ecosystem. Okay, so you can choose pond or tree. Okay, so let's give an example. This is the pattern you can use. You can choose between tree or pond. Okay, for example, you choose pond. You can write here pond. Okay, and you can write the ecosystem of a pond. Okay, you can write down here an organism or an animal, insect, or plant. Okay, so same on our example in the previous slides. Okay, so for example, pond. Then you can put here the mosquito. You can draw it, or you can put the word mosquito. And the next one here, you can put again another animal that eats the mosquito or its eggs. Then you have to put the final organism here. Okay? So again, okay, so for example, you choose the pond. Then you will write an insect or organism that lives on the pond. Then you can write another organism that depend on this organism, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can add more boxes or circles. Okay, so just do the example like the example in the previous slides. Okay, understand everybody? Okay, very good. Just do an example of an ecosystem. Okay, now let's move on to our summary questions. For our summary question, what do you call the natural environment in which people, animals, and plants live? Very good. Environment. Next, what do you call the localized group that inhabit in a particular place and depend on each other? Very good. Ecosystem. Another summary question. Give an example of an ecosystem. Very good. Pond and tree. Another summary question. What are the two features of an ecosystem? Physical environment and living environment. Very good. And the last summary question. What is living environment? Very good. All the organisms such as plants, animals, and insects. Good job, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for watching and listening to our videos. So just a reminder, in these COVID times, to wash your hands, wear your mask, stay at home, eat healthy, and take your vitamins because we will see you soon. You're all doing a good job. Goodbye!